Well, think about this, okay? So I'm learning, like, I'm now a Reiki master, I'm a yoga teacher. And I remember sitting there one yoga class and I looked across the beach, right? And come here, there's no white sandy sand on Killiney Beach, it's stones. But that's why I love it. It's so historical. And I remember looking across the beach and I just could see an image of loads of people meditating at the same time and a prism of white light all around them. And it was like high energy. And I was like, that is so cool. And then it was just a word came in going, this has to happen.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. And you think about it, we all started coming out of lockdown. So we had all been separated and very hard for a lot of people to come back into a community. And I was like, people need this. So one day...
Principally after the lockdown, like when our... feelings got more
intense. Like, and there was so many people really deeply affected by lockdowns, you know.
I think during the lockdown, I started doing my therapy.
Yeah.
Psychology therapy,
Good, yeah. Yeah, because basically what the lockdowns did, like, yes, it shook up the world, but it shook up the world in a good way as well. In terms of everyone stopping and going, I don't want to live in the fast lane anymore. I want to like really bring myself to a place of balance and be more aligned and more calmer. And I want to design my own life. And I think a lot of people out there were feeling that, you know, because they realized leading up to the lockdowns, they were like running on empty, you know. And what's making us run on empty? Consumerism, materialistic stuff, the government, you know what I mean? So anyway, when I just thought like the full moon, because I was trained as a shaman as well, and a shaman shares with their community and educates them on the energies that are all around them and that the importance of the moon, the sun, Mother Earth. And it's helping people remember who they were and who they are. It's bringing forth their own wisdom from within. And it's creating that sacred space for them to heal. So I knew I had to do an event on the beach, but I was absolutely breaking it because I was like, so Killiney is right beside Ballybrack and I'm from Ballybrack. And if you think about it, up until like before the lockdowns, Christine was like falling out the local pubs, like having drinks and in parties. Do you know what I mean? And then suddenly after lockdown, Christine's like in Ballybrack, Killiney area going, I'm going to do an event on Killiney Beach and we're going to meditate. You can imagine the fear of like me stepping out into my light and the fear of what the locals would say. Yeah. You know?
We have the same feeling when I see a friend or a guy like going to all the parties, drinking, then from nothing he started going to the church, you know what I mean?
Like what's up with him, you know? You do. Like it's on it, like, you know. I actually, when I started doing the full moon, this local guy actually sent me a picture on Instagram, actually tagged me in a story. He's not the nicest person. He tagged me in a story with me and Jesus and said, which one's the prophet? And I was like, oh, and I just sat there and I went, that actually hurts. But who are you? Do you know what I mean? You don't know my story and you don't see what I'm trying to do here. So it actually helped me sort of overcome that. But it was a bit of a, oh my God. And I was just like, no, that says more about that person than me. So
maybe that your reaction with this situation like showed you how different you are now.
Yeah, big time.
At that time, I mean.
If that had happened like before lockdowns, it would have been like, oh my God, I'm never leaving the house. I'm stressed. You know what I mean? People are judging me, la la. You know yourself. It's like when you go out on a night out and your mind goes into a mind loop, anxiety the next day, and you're afraid to bump into anyone because you think you said something wrong or you did something, you know. But trust me, I've had years of that, but not anymore. But yeah, so I designed the full moon healing circle, and I had to have light yoga flow. It had to have breath work. It had to have shamanic drumming, because the drumming meditation is so powerful for people that are just new to meditation. The drum is like the symbol of the horse. Like it gallops you along on the trance of a meditation. Yeah, it's so powerful. I should have brought my drum in today, shouldn't I?
Saw the
Damn it.
picture, yeah.
Never thought of it. Sorry, next time.
Yeah, next time. Yeah, I could probably go. Probably no. I'm 100% sure I'm gonna bring you back here.
Cool.
For sure.
Yeah, because I've a million stories.
Yes, please come back.
But so the drum is so powerful, and particularly on a collective level, when everyone's meditating together, the energy just rises, you know, and it's so powerful. And then we have a little party because it's a full moon. We have to celebrate the full moon. And what the full moon does, it illuminates and expands all the emotions that we're holding within us, that are building up within the month. And then when the peaks in the sky, we let go of all the heaviness. We release all the energies that don't serve us. And then we're ready for a new month.
Yeah.
And you just feel refreshed and re-energized. And it's purely just coming together as a community and meditating and doing light yoga flow and breath work and then having a party afterwards. And that's what the event is all about, you know. We do it for charity for free. And we do it like we don't get any money for it.
Really?
No money. And I remember like so many people have come to me and goes, why don't you not charge? You'd make like, if you had 2,000 people and you charged them a tenner, you'd like, by the way, I haven't paid my mortgage in 3 months because it's in a moratorium. But anyway, that's another thing. But like you could make like 20 grand a month. And I went, but then you're missing the point of the event. The event is to raise people's vibrations and give them a taste of what spiritual wellness is all about.
Amazing.
Community, coming together and creating that space for them to heal.
Wow.
But as a community. And it just went from... So I started in August 2021 and I posted up the first one and I put it up on Instagram and I didn't look at the phone for about 3 hours. I was like, oh my God, like Judgment Day is arrived. But how can I describe this? People are like, well, why did you start when you were so scared? What made you push through that fear? It was because the head was throwing everything at me. Like, don't do this. They're going to think you're a fraud. You know, who do you think you are? But the heart was like, you need to do this.
Yeah.
You need to do this because people need it. And I remember like someone said to me, and she was really, really wise, and she turned around to me and I was talking to her about it and I was stressing about it. I was like, oh my God, like I hadn't slept in days. And she said, Christine, remember, this isn't about you. It's about the people that come. And I went, that's it. I got it. I'm doing it. So when I arrived, 100 people turned up and I was like, oh shit. Wow. And I remember I had a bottle of water and I went down to pick it up off the ground and my hand was like that. It was shaking. My knees were rattling. My throat chakra was completely closed off. I couldn't talk. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to pull this shit together? Like, and I remember just sort of stepping away a little bit and grounding myself. And I just called in my guides. I called them lads, me lads, because I have 3 at the moment. They come in at different times. And I just said, lads, I need help here. And I heard it was like, hold firm, we've got this. And then I just stood there and I went, I'm going to ask my personality to step aside and I call my soul forward. My soul will dictate this. And I stood up and went, hello, welcome to the Full Moon Healing Circle. And then it was like a split second. We were all partying. It was the end of the event. And I was like, oh my God, did I actually do it? And people were coming up and going, oh my God, it was amazing. When are you doing the next one? And I was like, I have to do this again? And then every month though, like I just kept pushing through that fear, just kept pushing through it because I knew the event wasn't about me. It was about the people that came.
Yeah.
And
maybe
now,
if you were charging, people would think he is a fraud. But now, like, you just do because...
I just do it because I want people to experience spiritual wellness.
Yeah.
You know, because if I said to you, hey, pay €55 for this event, and you'd be like, no. Where if I say, why don't you not come and just experience it? And the people that come, and this is one thing I didn't understand and I didn't realize at the time, families come. Friends and groups of friends come. There's WhatsApp groups now created every month going to the Full Moon Healing Circle. Friendships have been made. Actually, I had one guy propose to his girlfriend whom he met the year before at the Full Moon Healing Circle. He messaged me and goes, can I propose? I met my beautiful fiance, hopefully to be, at your full moon. I was like, 100%, do it.
You create a big community.
Oh, it was madness. It was crazy. But like, I don't take it for granted at all. Like every month there's a new thing that happens, and it's just magical, and new people come, and the regulars keep coming, and they come all the time because they just love it.
Wow. Talk about the full moon experience, what it is and how long does it take,
Yeah. So I have to pick different times because it's always an hour before sunset. Okay. So like, right, like in the winter we could be at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, and sometimes I mainly push that to the weekends because people work. Do you get me? Yeah. But so the starting time, it changes every month because of the sun. And what happens is I open up sacred space. So we all have to stay up and we stand up and say the sacred prayer. And that means that it's opening up and we're inviting the energies in and our spirit guides and our protection. And then I will bring them on a slow yoga flow, and nothing strenuous. Like I always say, if people come and just lie on their mat and just enjoy the energy, I'm like, doing a happy dance anyway, because you're giving yourself this space. Then my partner Neil will do the breath work. He is a Breathe with Neil, and he does the Wim Hof method, and he does the breathing work. And then I do a shamanic drumming meditation. And the shamanic drumming meditation, we can go into different worlds. We have the lower world, middle world, and upper world, and they're all different energies and different experiences. So depending where I'm being guided to bring everyone. And ultimately it's all about healing and meeting your spirit guides and getting more connected to yourself spiritually and your soul. And then I do a little talk then about where the moon is, because the moon rises in different star signs. There's different energies that are coming in around. Have a little talk about like how we're all feeling. And then we have a fire ceremony, because we want to release the emotions that have risen inside of us that are really starting to take over, So we have a fire ceremony. I get people to bring a pen and a paper, and they write what they want to let go of and what they want to bring in. Then they go up and have a fire ceremony, and they burn it in the fire, because they transmute it. The fire transmutes it into the energy, into this universe. And then we have the horse dance. So the horse dance, I don't know whether you're aware of it in the Wim Hof, where they're like, ooh, ha, ooh, yeah. And that's to get us all fired up. And then the music goes on. It's suddenly a rave, and everyone's running into the sea and like releasing and purifying all the heaviness and all the negative energy that they may be carrying within them into the sea.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Não sai desse vídeo. Você acabou de assistir um corte do Talkeando Podcast, e para assistir esse episódio completo, o link tá bem na descrição desse vídeo. E não deixa de se inscrever no nosso canal e compartilhar com seus amigos e familiares. Valeu? Talkeando Podcast.